Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. I just want to thank everybody that showed up for Monday morning's live stream, Monday morning motivation live stream. Um, you guys came and showed out more than last week, especially the week before. We're going to be doing this every Monday until December 23rd. If it's something that's in demand and people are really starting to catch on to it and participate as opposed to just listening, then we'll keep it going. But right now, I'm just committing every Monday to December 23rd at 8:30 a.m. Central Time. And go catch the replay if you didn't see it. Disclaimer, towards the end of that live, I say probably the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes, we had to tussle with a peach patch, okay? So if I offended anybody, I apologize. If I offended anybody that matters, I apologize, because not everybody matters. I can't be politically correct. I'm not going to sit here and act like I got all the answers and that I'm always righteous and I'm always the bigger person and I'm always going to turn the other cheek. I'm not. I'm not. But anyway, I want to tell a story time today. Yesterday, if you didn't catch it, go catch the replay of that story time. It's part one and it's part two. It's about the first time I had intimacy, okay? I'm doing these reflections about my life as well as things I've experienced throughout life. Good times, bad times, movies, memories, fun times, just social media experiences and funny videos I did and dance videos. I'm doing that all, okay? I'm doing this to be able to reflect and analyze my life. So this video I'm about to tell you about, it's going to be something that happened to me in my life because I'm trying to figure out how I got here, how I got to be the way I am, to think the way I think, to feel the way I feel, the paranoia and all, the untrust and all, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, this happened in about 1987, okay? The same story I told y'all yesterday, part one and part two, please go watch it. That was about my first time. So that was my first real boyfriend. The first time I got really intimate. I say first real boyfriend because it lasted about 2 years and I was intimate with anybody else. I wasn't that, puppy love stuff. When you 14, 15, no, don't count. But this person here, this story is about that person as well, okay? Now, I was with him for 2 years, even though all that happened in part one and part two. But when I got 19, I got tired and I just didn't want to keep being mother hen to a young man who's supposed to be on my level of maturity and making things happen for his life to grow as a person. It was more like me having a little brother, a kid, you know what I'm saying? And I was already a teenager that used to have to take care of my little brothers all the time. So that just, didn't work for me. So we ended up breaking up, right? But then we call ourselves being friends, and I thought he was cool with it because I'm not experienced in relationships. I'm just being me. He was cool with me for 2 years as my boyfriend. We did what we did. Things happened, good, bad, ugly. You know what I'm saying? He was a great person overall. I ain't never saying nothing bad about him. Everybody human, especially when you're young, teenagers. Come on now. So after we broke up, we continued to be friends, I thought. But it got to the point where he just wanted to do other things that I was barely doing when we was together. So the only way that he would give me money, because now keep in mind, I also got put out my mom's house. I had to go live with my auntie, and she lived probably like 8, 9 blocks away from my mama. And I was in college. I didn't have no way to get to school. My auntie didn't have no money. I didn't have no money. I could barely get it from my mama when I was living there. So he had a little money, and he would give it to me. But in exchange, he wanted me to do things, okay? So, and I did. I say about 2 times, but that last time it got reckless. It got to the point where he know he didn't have the money like that. It wasn't no more than like $35 for 3 minutes and stuff like that. It was horrible. But I love college. I was a dance major. So me going to school every day was very, very important. And that $35 really helped every time, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes he just give it to me based off the fact that he liked me still and we used to go together. But sometimes it'd be like, I'll give you the extra if you blah, blah, blah. And it ain't like I was no stranger to it. I didn't do it a lot because I'm still young. And I remember what happened with part one and part two. Go check it out. You know what happened. So this last, I remember it was on New Year's Eve. And it was going to be in 1987, maybe 86. Yeah, I'm going to say 86 because I'm getting 2 stories about him, kind of blending them together, different timelines. So stay with me, y'all. So I say we've got to be 1980, finna be 1986. New Year's Eve, he came by, and we made arrangements to do whatever. My auntie then was in the house. It was a big house too, big old apartment in Chicago on Ellis Street. And I felt funny and strange about, the transaction this time. It was like something about his vibe was off. Because prior to that, he was even giving me stuff like Sherm Stick. If y'all know what that is, Happy Stick, Sherm Stick. I didn't know, but it was to loosen me up so I would just be able to do it. Because just wasn't a fan of it, y'all. I was going to understand what the girls was talking about, how good it felt, and that's why they was doing it. And they like 13, 15, 17 years old, too. And they was loving it. I'm like, I ain't like it. And I'm like, maybe because he gave me that thing, who would like it? I just didn't like I could never get into it. Oh, disgusting. Even if I think about it now. Whew. So it felt weird, and sure enough, as it got time to do it, I wanted to leave out the door. It was like we went in the back to be alone. We had that doggone cable. They supposed to be coming back out here. It was the day they was here, they didn't do shit, so he got to come back. But anyway, so I tried to run, but he caught me and he started hitting me, and I'm fighting, and he started hitting me and fighting. He high, I was a little high. I know most definitely he was. But I was fighting for my life. I tried to grab the radio. Back in them days, the little boom boxes, they plugged. It wasn't like I could just grab. I grabbed the cord and it came out because I was finna hit him side the head, baby. But then finally, my cousin, my auntie came back there. They finally heard all the ruckus and they got the fighting. Boy, 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 boy. It was ugly. So he ran out the door and left, and then we called the police and everything. Police came. It was horrible. Now imagine being, at this time, I'm like 19 or going on 19. I think I was 19. That's why I was in college. And just imagine going through that with somebody that you was with for 2 years. You just couldn't take it no more. You still want to be their friend. You know what I'm saying? We had got together sometimes doing that and sometimes just hanging out. And he gave me the Sherm Stick and he feed me. You know what I'm saying? Had some laughs. And going to that, it was just horrible. Did you know he came back? Him and his friend, which was my friend, and his brothers came and cut our phone cords and shooting off a gun. Pew, pew. They didn't get in, but they did all that. It was horrible. I was so scared. I didn't talk to him for a long, 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 long time. Long time. I didn't talk to him. So, fast forward, I say 87. I met my kid's father. I didn't have no kids yet. Ended up having a baby by him, and he would come by. He would walk past because he still stayed in the neighborhood, and he started talking to my kid's father, and they started doing all this and trying to, fake kick it or whatever. And eventually, he was talk to me behind his back. He found out, and they got to tussling one time. Didn't see him no more. Now, fast forward, I done moved out of there, got my own place. Me and my kid's father about to get married. He done went back to jail. So I had to move back home. So we talking about fast forward like a year or so. So I seen him. I was scared of him. We finally talked about all that. We finally made up. He gave me $5 to give me something to eat. It was a restaurant on the corner. He said he wanted me to move him and his mama. He still loved me. He don't care if I was pregnant again with somebody else's baby. He loved me. He's sorry what happened, all this stuff. And I agreed to go to the show with him. And now 3 days later, it was time to go to the show. He came to get me to go to the show. But I had a nasty attitude. I was just like, ugh. I chalked it up to just being pregnant and in a bad mood. He came around on the bike. And he was like, touch that Duffy. Touch that Duffy mean butt. And I just wasn't feeling it. So by the time I went in the house, and it took about 10, 15 minutes. I came back out. They said, he gone. I said, oh, shit. Oh, well, I guess we ain't going. You know, about 2 days later, one of my good friends, who I still talk to today, came and told me that he was unalived. Yes, he was unalived, y'all. Y'all want to know what happened? Say part 2 in the comments.